It's Coach Bob with you, and today we are going to wrap up a few questions on this darn pedal commander, because I've been asked a lot of questions through emails, and sometimes it's just easiest to get all the questions lined up and answer them all at one time. I'd say the biggest question that I've been asked is about gas mileage. Gas mileage is the $64,000 question, I will tell you, especially with gas prices going up, and they are going up. If I am accelerating a lot, in other words, if I'm riding in town where I'm going to red lights, I've noticed a drop from about 29 miles per gallon to 28 miles per gallon. So I've lost 1 mile per gallon. So not a lot. It's because I'm wrapping those RPMs up more quickly. And so, you know, whenever you fire that engine up, you release that fuel, you're going to get a little less gas mileage. It hasn't been crazy. Now I'm running it in sport mode in the dead center. You know, you've got 4 negative, 4 positive, and 0 right in the middle, and that's what I'm running, sport mode right in the center. And this thing has worked perfectly so far, so good. Now, what about fuel economy when you're riding like this? Zero change, absolutely zero. I have gotten exactly the same mileage. I average a little over 30 miles per gallon when I'm riding like this. It has not changed a tenth of a mile. It was unseen after 4 tanks of gas. So there's the fuel economy thing. Next up was the question of cruise control. Would it speed up or slow down 1 mile an hour? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this for you right here. We're going to get to 55. I've got the cruise. Let's get it. I dropped it at 54. So we'll watch the speedometer here. Should be at 55 now. Here we go. So normally when you bump this up, it'll go up 1 mile an hour. So let's see what happens. I bumped it, and there it goes, 1 mile an hour. One more time. Should be 57 now. There it is. I'm going to go down. 56 miles an hour. Hit the brake. Cruise control is canceled. So cruise control is absolutely working exactly as it did before the installation of the pedal commander. That was a big question. I bet I've been asked that question 30 times because people were afraid of putting it on there and messing up their cruise control, the ability to use their cruise control. The next question was, have you had any anomalies, any electronic bumps and, you know, kibbles and bits, little weird things happen? The answer, nope, have not had one bump in the road at all as far as electronics are concerned. It has been absolutely normal. I've put quite a few miles on with this thing. I've tried to get it to mess up. They tell you to wait till you're sitting still to adjust through the modes. And what I have done is I have intentionally run up and down through modes while I was riding just to see if I could get it to do something weird. And I have not been able to get it to mess up. So that's good news. So if you're worried about that, there you go. Next question was, what about the waterproof aspect of it, Coach? You told me it was not waterproof. And the reality, it is not waterproof. So if you mount it here where I did, now this is, you know, I wanted you to be able to see how this thing was installed, and I wanted to do it as per like the Sling Mod webpage. That's how they did it. And so I did that. I want to represent their company well. They gave this to me. I did not hide that from anyone. I told you at the very beginning. They told me I could say anything negative, anything positive. They said, share this with your subscribers. Tell them what you think. And I appreciate Sling Mods for doing that. I am very grateful for anyone who wants to throw anything in our direction and says, hey, we want your honest opinion, Coach. And that's really, really cool. That doesn't always happen. I've had a lot of folks approach me. I'm going to tell you that I have turned gear down where they go, you can have it, but you're going to have to say something good. I'm not going to do that. If I have to say something good, I want to be able to tell you the truth. So it's not like I'm making a whole lot of money doing this, and I don't really need the money. I am retired, so my house is paid for. I don't stress over those things. So the piece of equipment I mounted, I was going to turn there, but nope, wrong road. But I mounted it exactly like Sling Mods had mounted theirs. And so, is this the optimal place for it? It is for visibility, but it's not the optimal spot. So the next question is, well, if not here, then where? Well, I found a couple of ideas. They make a little bitty waterproof case, and I could drill the end of that case and put a little rubber boot in the end of it and make it virtually waterproof, enough to where I don't think it would be a problem with this piece of equipment, and it could be right here in a little case. So that's an option. The other option is to mount it up under here. And I know you're saying, well, Coach, if I mount it up under here, what am I going to do? I can't adjust it. Got an answer for that as well. Yes, it is Bluetooth, and there is an app, and you can adjust all of that via your phone. So you could simply mount this out of the way up under here and adjust it with your phone. But for demonstration purposes, I wanted it here so I could see it, put my hands on it. You could see it and see what it looks like. But I was asked a lot of questions of why did you mount it there when you know it's not waterproof and it's going to render it useless on a rainy day. The next question was this: are you going to leave it on there all the time? Well, I'm going to tell you that when I travel from Key West to Maine, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. And I know a lot of people are going, Coach, you're just paranoid. You're right, I am paranoid. When I'm out on the road with Coach Vic, anything that is not absolutely necessary, when I say necessary, required for the trip, doesn't go. Certainly anything electronic, because something electronic could potentially, if it got too wet, if it got too hot, those sorts of things. When I'm touring on a big tour like that, I'm going to take it off. Now, if I was just going to Daytona, I'll leave it on there. If I was just going to Key West and back for a week, I'd leave it on there. But if I'm going to be riding all the way up the East Coast and heading up into Canada, possibly, depending on if they open the border and all that stuff, and being able to ride in all kinds of crazy temperatures and all sorts of weather conditions, anything that could create any potential hazard, I will take off of the Spyder. I just will. Is it necessary? Probably not. It's just necessary for me. And then I guess the next question is if I take it off, is it worth putting back on? Sure, absolutely it is. And as soon as I get back, I'll clean the Spyder up, I'll service it, and I'll put the pedal commander right back on it. But we have been caught several times in massive downpours. I mean, massive downpours. There wasn't a dry spot on this thing that were brutal. Now, when you're only, 5 hours from home, you can pull over. But there are times when you're out touring, when it's a continent crossing, there are times you can't pull over. There's nowhere to go. When we were out in West Texas, there was nowhere to go. There's no protection. There's no exits. There's no people. There's no cars. There was just nothing. That and in Arizona, it could get kind of spooky. So anything that can create a bump in that, I do away with. I was also asked, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the very best, 1 being the very worst, what would you rate the pedal commander at as far as usability, dependability, and functionality? I'm going to give it a 5 without hesitation. Maybe that will surprise you, and I'm saying I'm going to take it off when I cross the country, but it shouldn't. If it runs absolutely perfectly and I go through a monsoon with it on here and it still operates perfectly, I'll still take it off when I cross the country. At least that's the plan now. Who knows, maybe I will change in the way I think. You can leave a comment down below. What would you do? Would you keep it on there when you cross the country? Or would you say, hey man, it's fine? I don't know. I don't know. I can always take it off on the road. It's pretty easy. Takes 5 minutes to take the darn thing off if I wanted to. Harley Davidson. All right, well, hopefully that has cleared up a few of the questions and the lore. You know, there were a lot of things that people did ask about this thing, and that they had watched videos. I watched a lot of videos with guys where they had them on cars and they slung codes, and you know, people were like, man, you know, that could be bad, Coach Bob. I've not experienced that. Maybe that was an older model, maybe the software on the vehicle itself, I don't know. And I know that the Spyder is known to be somewhat cantankerous electronically, but I haven't had any problem with it, so I'm very pleased with it, and I think it's 100% dependable. There again, I just, you know, the machine was not designed to have it, so crossing a country, I don't know. Like I said, share your comments below what you would do. I want to tell you that riding here lately is just such a joy. It is absolutely beautiful, man. I just love the weather here when it's nice like this. We have rainy seasons. I was watching John and Miriam's Winter Blues video, came out a couple of weeks ago, and man, I just can't even imagine not being able to ride all winter. I get blahs out when it rains for a week. I'm like, bleh, you know, because the rain, man, not seeing the sunshine. I walk out and go, what is that big ball of fire in the sky, man? Looks like a sun or something. Man, I don't envy you northern guys up there not being able to ride. I do love to ride. Hopefully you're getting some enjoyment and living vicariously through me and getting to at least hang out with me. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do, my friends. I want you to go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself. And remember, if you're not having fun, you are most definitely doing it wrong. We'll talk to you real soon. Man, these roads are absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful time of year. Wow.